Here we go. 76.2 to go, guys.
All right.
Starting bright and early at 6 p.m. in the evening. All right, let's go. I don't want her to get them. She's not paying them any mind, though. What creature is that? It's Fameme! Hey, little doggy. Let's go. One of those bird fireworks went off right here. Oh. All right. Nothing like setting up a new tent for the first time in the dark. This is the kennel. Get in. Get in the kennel. I know, but wait. Get back. Get back. So trick and pull handle. It goes in this little cup under there. I wonder who put doggy prints on my tent. Come get in the can. Come over here. Come on. Fancy. Not. You can't go that way. Come on. Come here. Come this way. Good try. Just because you can see through it doesn't mean you can go through it. Yay! Like it? You ready? Ah! Whoops. I stepped on the leash. Here we are out on the Foothills Trail, and if you're not from the Carolinas or the East Coast, you might not be familiar with it, but it's a 77-ish mile path that spans from Oconee State Park to Table Rock State Park, so from west to east, and it kind of weaves through the North Carolina-South Carolina border, but it begins in South Carolina and ends in South Carolina. The reason I decided to go from west to east is I hear the terrain gets a little bit more rugged the farther you go towards Table Rock, but also that the views get a little bit better. So coming off the couch, it felt like letting my trail legs kind of build up made more sense, and also I like to end where things are a little bit prettier. Alabama. The best time to hike this trail, like many trails in the South, so that you don't completely melt, is in the spring, and I think early spring it would be really pretty out here. One, because of the flowers, but two, if there are less leaves on the trees, then you'll have more views. Also, the fall is prime time because there are all sorts of pretty colors. And I heard that we might be a little bit early for peak season of colors, but I bet with as slow as we are, by the time we get to the end, it'll just be perfect. Came down over there by that blaze and found this little parking area here. The trail goes on that way, but Fancy's like, come on, all these good vehicles, and I know you know how to drive them. Let's go hike. Fancy. Not yet, sweetie. Come on, we got some more work to do before we can ride. Trail maintenance in action. Thank y'all for all of the hard work. Wow!
So you're gonna have to just walk in here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can you get around that?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Y'all have a good one. Thank you again.
I'll take care. Have fun.
So pretty. And we made it to camp. Sandy Beach. It's not snow, but it'll do. You act so pitiful once you get in the tent. Like somebody should be singing in the arms of the angel.
You left your spoon at home.
This one?
Yes.
Dang, we had the extra one.
I know.
Pull it out and it's got a little fold out thing.
Hey!
How about that?
Now you don't have to get splinters in your mouth.
Exactly.
And then after you know each other a couple days, it's like, yeah, I'm a morning pooper, you know, and then it turns into like, like way more than you would ever tell somebody in normal life. You know? Oh, watch out. Oh. Oof. Fancy.
I was not expecting to see this. I didn't know that I was this close, but this is a real treat for me because when I was a little girl and we would come vacation in North Carolina and go hike Whiteside, that's when I learned about the Appalachian Trail for the first time. So it's really cool to see it from this perspective. I've actually never been on a hiking trail where I could see Whiteside Mountain, but alas, I have stood there and looked out here many times, and now I get to stand here and look over there. And there's a cliff on the edge of that mountain. I think I might be able to see folks out there right now, but it's my favorite spot in the world to stand and look out. So pretty cool to see it from here.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So I got a truck.
they had a baby. Trail magic, compliments of Taz. Crushed cans in the bag. Please keep our trail beautiful. Donations appreciated. Venmo ID Taz47. Well, Taz, we will definitely be Venmoing you. Thank you. Get to see cool stuff when you night hike. Some people night hike in the morning. Nope, you almost stepped on him, Fancy. And some people in the evening. This is an example of poor planning. So I got these tents set up, or poor site inspection, and looks like a good spot, flat. What we didn't notice until right now is this dead tree that's leaning ominously over our tents, and the only thing that's holding it up is a dead branch that's growing out of this tree. So I guess a dead Siamese twin tree. But the one that's gonna be really upset and not understand is this one. Hey, May, we had to move. These cords came in a stake bag. I knew that there was a place for a clothesline in here, so you can attach it there, and then on the other side. So I got really excited because I thought that that's what this was, but then I realized, duh, there are two of them. One for a tie out there and one for a tie out there. So you got to bring your own clothesline, but I'm still glad that the option exists. And I mean, I could use these. Boom. Now I can hang my headlamp over my head instead of wearing it. My favorite thing by far of this trail so far has been the waterfalls. Now, aside from the fall colors, but as far as something that's fixed on the trail that you can see any time of year you come out here, definitely the waterfalls. I've never been on a 77-mile stretch of trail that I can recall where I've seen so many waterfalls. Now, some of them aren't right on trail. Some of them you've got to go like 0.2 off, but they've been worth it. So if you get out here and you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do bonus miles, do it. It's worth it. And pit toilets. Haven't had to take an on-trail number 2 yet, so not complaining about that. Hey, buddy. I'd never seen a yellow spider web until today, but there it is. Dang it, the stairs.
We gotta go up the other side.
Yeah. little lemon squeeze action here. All right, go slow. Go slow. Go slow. Good. A little bit slow. Camping area. Next one is in 3.3 miles. Tonight hike or not tonight hike? Not the best real estate we've ever had, but we will take it. I hope that's not rain. Yes, it is. Can I come in? Well, that just has to be the cutest little mushroom I've ever seen in my life. Long staircase. Marty read a review before we got out here that said, if you don't like stairs, don't come to the Foothills Trail. Ooh, we thought maybe they were being a little dramatic, but check out across there. She's making me nervous with this newfound bravery. Not so brave after all, are we? Whew. Scares me too, Meme. Go slow. Buns the steel. Buns the steel. I'm sleepy too. Traitor. Ooh, the trail is steep today. Might not look like it, but it feels like it, I promise. I've heard a lot of folks say that the Foothills Trail is a good training path for the AT, like prep for it. And at the beginning of the trail, I was like, I mean, sure, in the way that you get out in the woods and backpack and you got some climbs. But as I'm getting closer to the Table Rock side of things, I would have to say I concur. I don't know that there's anything that'll really prepare you for hiking 2,200 miles over a 6-month period other than just getting out there and taking it slow. But of course, the best shape you can be in, the more it'll work out for you when you're out there. But if you want to know if you can just hack the climbing and the difficulty of the beginning of the AT anyway, then I think this would definitely be a good shakedown trail to get out with your gear and really feel what the brutality of the southern portion of the AT might have in store for you. I got a little creeped out because we walked up on this and it just looked creepy in the dark, and then these looked like tombstones. But it's not a cemetery. False alarm, it's a campsite. Right. I think that might be a little bit too slanted, but it'll hold. The new tent I'm testing out, the Gossamer gear, the 2, is working out well, and it fits me and fancy pretty well with my pack. Of course, I use my pack under my legs since I've got the short pad, but even if I didn't with a medium-sized dog, I think it would work out well for you to have your gear inside too. And for a single wall tent, I've kind of been impressed with the amount, or the not amount, of condensation that's on the inside. I mean, of course there is some, but it's just not been pouring down and collecting in the floor or anything. There are some little things that I still definitely prefer about the duplex, and I'll do more of a full review on that when I get off trail, but I do like it so far for a single wall nylon tent that's, you know, in a better price range than the duplex. I will say that one of the pros and cons of the tent is it seems, now it could be an optical illusion, but it seems like it takes up more space footprint wise than the triplex, a 3-person tent. So that could be a good thing for having a lot of space. I think most of that additional space seems to be in the vestibules on either side, but also if you're in a populated area and there's just not a ton of tent space, then that limits you more as to where you can set up. There's our camp. Here's the water source, and we slept at the top of a waterfall. I don't reckon I've ever done that before, so that's pretty cool. Let's go. There is a squirrel up there being a whole butthole throwing stuff down. Jerks. You worried those squirrels are gonna get you?
Boo!
The colors are so pretty. Getting to camp.
Yeah, you gotta climb in the dark ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dogs, I've got 3 of them, not with me, but
Oh. Yeah, some people just don't like sharing campsites, you know, which I get it. I heard something and I couldn't see it because he's so well camoed with these leaves. Hey! Hey there, friend. You got some good camouflage going on. No! What is it? It's my friend.
She's mad because I'm talking to a frog. Fancy.
His tail looks like a fettuccine noodle. What are they doing in your food bowl?
Kiss.
Well, they're done now, whatever they were doing. I have never seen one of them eat, but here we are. Update on the allergy situation and if the synthetic quilt and puffy are working. I think that it's helping. My face hasn't gotten as swollen as when I bury it in down at night, but it was puffier this morning than it is right now. And I've been taking my Allegra in the morning like the allergy lady told me to, and Zyrtec at night. And it's still puffed up, but again, not as bad. So I think it's helping, and I don't know that if even with those allergy medicines, it's just so bad being outside for me that I swell up at night. I don't know. But it could also be apparently something with my autoimmune system. And I've since got some tests back that indicated I need to see a rheumatologist. So I'm going to do that as soon as I get done with Foothills Trail and find out if maybe that's not the issue. But I know I am allergic to all of these things, and feathers probably. So I don't know, maybe it's just getting worse with age, but I'll figure it out one way or the other. I do like the synthetic quilt and puffy coat, both from Enlightened equipment. I don't love that they're heavier than my other puffy coat, and definitely I miss my down puffy, my Plasma 1000. I would definitely say this one doesn't feel quite as warm, but it serves a purpose. It's done me well out here. I already burned a hole in it, so I've broken it in from sitting next to the fire. And the quilt, it's a 20-degree quilt, and I feel like at 20 degrees I would be freezing in it, but I'm a cold-natured person, and most of the time I've got to get bags that are rated lower than the actual temperatures I'm going to be in to be comfortable. But one thing that I do like about the synthetic quilt is that when my footbox area is on the condensation inside the tent, I haven't had a ton of it, but still, even with a down quilt, I notice it seems to kind of melt. You can tell that it's damp, but with the synthetic, it's like it just keeps on trucking along and doesn't lose any puffiness, and it's just not problematic. My feet don't feel colder. If my face didn't swell up, I would definitely prefer overall the down coat and the down quilt. We've been climbing for a while now, and we're about to reach the summit of Sassafras Mountain, which is the high point of the state of South Carolina. So that's another one that I get to mark off the list. Marty gets to mark off the list, and I think it's Fancy May's first high point ever. So that's pretty exciting. We were at the high point, and I went off and see, now I'm freaked out. I was taking pictures and stuff, and somebody came up to him and
I see you got
said,
your dog with you. I guess it's gonna make it hard for people to sneak up on your tent. I was like, people don't really sneak up on my tent at night. And he's like, oh yeah, they do. And he stared at my neck knife, and he's like, you ever had to use that? And I was like, what? Dixie, come back, you know.
Now we're heading to a bulb. It's about 1.5 miles or so, maybe 2 miles most, where we can watch the sunrise for our last morning, since we really haven't had the opportunity to see any of them. And I think Fancy is wondering what we're doing. Bless her heart. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get to the sunrise. Hopefully we make it in time. I think we woke up with plenty of time, but that's always like the nerve-wracking thing when you're going somewhere for sunrise. It's like you don't want to put in all the work of getting up and getting there just to miss it, but at the same time, then we just get an early start to the day and get to enjoy it and take our time more. All right. Now we just gotta find a spot to sit and wait for the show and hope Miss Fancy May doesn't fall off. Ooh. It's pretty. I think we're crazy. That eyeball, though. It looked completely flat when we got up here. Just couldn't see anything, and now the definition of the mountains is finally starting to pop out. Okay. Wait, Fancy. Are you ready to be a thru-hiker? You're about to be a thru-hiker for the first time. Oh, snap. 1 mile left. All right, there is the nature center. So we're like feet from finishing. Are you excited?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh!
on it. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Good girl.
You ready? Load up. Beep, 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 beep. That's all, folks.